Hey guys, um, the the day that I was hoping would never come, um, just came. I don't know if this morning I mentioned that I left a really long text message on my wife's phone while she was staying at her friend's house last night, and I knew I shouldn't have sent it, but I sent it anyway. Um, So today around, I guess 11 or 12 o'clock, I called her, and I mean, obviously, I called her because I was feeling empty again, and I mean, she answered the phone, which I didn't think she was going to, but she did answer the phone, and we did talk, and then I asked her how she felt. She said she didn't know. And I asked her a bunch of questions, and the answer to every question was, I don't know. I need everybody in YouTube land, or, again, chances are nobody's out there, but I'd like to think eventually somebody will watch this. I think after I tell this story, I'm going to change the direction of the channel, but that's obviously something I'll need to think about. So when I realized the answer to every question was going to be I don't know, I asked her what her fear was in answering questions and telling me how she felt. And she answered that one. She said she doesn't want to hurt me. It was at that point I knew what direction the conversation was going in, but I needed to hear it for myself. So I told her that keeping it inside for the sake of sparing my feelings was hurting more, because what scared me and hurt me the most was not knowing. So she started to open up, because it was no longer an issue that she was concerned about my feelings. And again, she's a great person, and the fact that she was trying to spare my feelings speaks to that personality trait. She went on to talk about how she no longer wants to be in a relationship. She's felt she's no longer wanted to be in a relationship for a long time, and she's convinced that her lack of desire to be in a relationship makes her believe that no matter what we try, what we do, no matter how many countless hours of couples therapy we go through, it won't work, and our relationship is absolutely over. Now, it hurt. It hurt quite a bit, because there's nothing more. There's nothing I want more than for all of this to be over, and we go into tomorrow forgetting anything before tomorrow even existed. I want to wake up in the morning next to her and realize this was just a really bad dream. So I asked her again, are you sure you don't want to go through couples therapy? and she said no, and that she's been trying to find her own therapist for a very long time. I told her, I mean, I've already paid for the therapy sessions. We don't necessarily need to use them as group couples therapy. I sent the invite to her email. All she has to do is open the email, accept the invitation, and then start chatting with the therapists. I told her that I would much rather her use the therapy for herself so she can so her mental state and mental health is fixed, because her mental health is always going to take precedence over marriage. And I told her that just as easy as it's been in the last 4 or 5 weeks to turn my emotions and my feelings on, it's easy for me to turn them back off. And I told her I don't want to, but if me turning my feelings off, so the feeling of emptiness in my chest would go away. And understand, guys, the feeling in my chest needs to go away in order for me to stop trying really hard to be with her. I don't think that's the route I'm going to take, because the feeling of happiness is a lot stronger than the feeling of sadness at this point. I like the feeling I feel when I'm happy. It just can't and won't be with her. Nonetheless, I didn't mean for that statement to be hurtful in any way. I needed her to know that her mental health is now my number one priority. She got angry. She got so angry. She started yelling at me, and honestly, her yelling at me was very important. She said, I can't go the rest of my life bottling up every feeling and emotion that I have. It's not healthy, it's not good, and she doesn't want me to do that. And I explained it to her. I explained it to her again. If I continue to have feelings, if I continue to have emotions, I'm always going to talk about how much I love her and how I want us to be together, and it's going to push her further and further away. And I understand that the relationship's never going to be fixed, and pushing her away isn't that bad, but I also don't want her to hate me. I want her to be my friend. Because for the last 8 years, she's been my best friend. She started raising her voice again and saying, I've been trying to tell you for the last couple of weeks that I just want some space. And I've been up her butt this entire time trying to win her back, and all she ever wanted was space. Now, I don't remember her ever telling me she wanted space. I remember her telling me that she felt emotionally unfulfilled, so I've spent the last week trying to fulfill her emotionally, but now she's telling me that she's been wanting space the entire time, and that confuses the crap out of me. I don't understand why she's telling me she said one thing and I don't ever remember hearing her say it. Because last week, if she would have told me all she wanted was space, I would have given her space. As a matter of fact, she didn't. At first, when she said that the first time she said that the relationship was over, because I didn't want her to feel uncomfortable, I moved all of my stuff out of one bedroom and I put it in the other. I moved out of the room to the other side of the house. And later on that day, she came into the room and said she doesn't want to sleep in separate rooms. So, of course, her saying that she wanted space and that's all she's wanted this entire time, I asked her, before you even asked for space, before you even entertained the idea that this relationship could work out, I was already under the understanding that there was nothing I can do to fix the relationship. I even drafted a separation agreement. It hurt so bad when I did it, because reading the text message saying that our relationship was irreparable and ultimately it will end in divorce, I read that, it hurt. I moved out of the room because I didn't want her to feel uncomfortable. And later on that day, she came in here. She had the opportunity to just be separate from me, but then she told me that she didn't want to sleep in separate rooms. So I asked her, that day that I had already moved out, why did you tell me that you wanted to sleep in the same bed? And she said, at that moment, she thought that that's what she wanted. So I need you guys to help me to understand, how do I know what she wants? I'm fully prepared to give her space and completely separate myself from her until she tells me what she wants. I'll come home a little bit later. I'll wait for her to leave the house. I can come home, take a shower, and go straight to bed. I can go out with some friends before I come home. I can do any of these things. Quite frankly, I kind of want to do some of these things. I want to try all the things that we were talking about the other day when I said that I wanted space so I can find me. I wanted to find me to work on this. I needed to be able to give myself space. But when I said I wanted to give myself space, she told me she didn't want space, and now she does. So I'll come home later. I'll go out with some friends. I'll have a drink with the guys on occasion. I'll grab my friend Crystal and we will go somewhere and have a good time. Until I find out what it is exactly that I want, and to find out exactly what she wants. I really hope that the decisions she and I are making are the right ones. But ultimately, once again, the outcome can't matter. We both need to fix ourselves.